You've been busy, Mo.
I made dinner. I made your favorite broccoli and beetroot salad in olive oil and vinegar.
That looks wonderful.
I made my favorite.
No, that's not salad.
Well, almost. The animal ate salad.
Okay, got it.
It's a steak and some more veggies. Asparagus, mushrooms, and red pepper.
And what is this over here?
We've got drinks.
You need to turn it around a little bit. Harris gin
Uh-huh.
and a tonic water.
Yeah. Let's crack this open.
Alright, go for it, girl.
What have you been up to?
I've been litter picking and landscaping.
You should basically put other people's mess away.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, clearing up after others. But never mind, this is a glorious spot. We've camped here lots of times and I didn't want to see it messy, so it's all clean and tidy again. Got the generator purring away outside so that I can upload a wee video for the viewers.
Okay. Using my data.
Using your data. And then...
Do you want some?
Yeah, I'll have some tonic water, please. And then I'm going to go down on the fishing tonight. And I might have a look for the knife that I left here 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Okay, folks, I'm going to get on with my dinner. Say bye-bye, Mo.
Bye.
This is Dave Outdoors, Scotland.
It's Mo Outdoor Scotland.
Without Dave, signing off for dinner. Bye for now, folks. Hello there, folks. How you doing? What a glorious evening. I'm van camped at the top of this little craggy shoreline on an exposed point looking out over the sea. I'm on the island of Harris, and just round the corner there is the wee island of Scalpay, so I'll give you an idea of where I am. So we've got camp conditions for a wee while. There's rain coming in tonight, but I want to try a cast or two. Believe it or not, this is actually high tide. It's only a 1.9 metre tide. Getting across from Berneray to Leverburgh was a wee bit of a challenge because the Calmac ferries are operating on a tidal timetable just now because there's not enough water to get the boats close in. But we made it. We camped down at Rodel last night, and so we're camping here tonight, and we've got another night. We might manage to get onto a hill. If we do, we'll take you with us, but I can't guarantee it because the weather conditions are quite challenging for filming. However, I'm going to throw this lure into the water. I'm not going to chunter away to you. I'm just going to fish away. I'll let the camera roll for a wee while. And I'll just enjoy a quiet, peaceful evening. When it's like this, it doesn't really matter if you catch a fish or not. If it looks like I'm teetering a little bit here, these rocks are quite slippy, so I need to step back a wee bit. So let me crack on and try a cast or two, folks. I'm looking for a tell from the birds, folks, to see if there's any fish about here. Too busy squabbling. certainly not fishing. I'd rather suspect to know something that I don't. I don't think there's any fishing here this evening. We're approaching the golden hour now, but I've not had so much as a bite. There's a good fishing mark round the corner. There's a bridge that crosses from Harris across to Scalpay, and there's a tidal race under the bridge through the Narrows, and you often see the seal, sometimes the otter, fishing there. And it seems a relatively easy spot to catch fish. I've always done reasonably well there. But it's not a very scenic spot, and it can be quite noisy standing under the bridge. Although there's not a lot of traffic goes across to Scalpay. It's surprising. It doesn't take much traffic to disturb your peace, so I'm happy. I'm happier standing here, throwing this lure in the water and catching nothing. It's just grand to be out. I managed to get the generator fired up for a wee while today and upload a video that Mo and I made and on the east side of South Uist beneath the big hills of Hecla and Benmore. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you haven't seen it, check it out, folks. Mo managed to capture a wee bit of footage of a golden eagle at the end getting bothered by some merlins. Usually when I'm fishing these waters, when the lure comes in close to shore, it's quite deep down there, so sometimes you get a big pollock. What the big pollock are doing are sitting hunting, because there's loads of wee coalies usually down there, and quite often you'll see the wee coalies chasing after the lure, and the pollock will dive out. And it's just chance whether it manages to get one of the wee coalies or takes my lure. But I don't see anything at all this evening. I don't hear very much either, except these squabbling birds. And a goose. Two geese. Oh no, there's 4 geese. Are they going fishing? Hello there folks, can you hear me above the sound of the wind and the waves? I'm on the south end of South Harris. Too many souths in that sentence. And I'm on the east coast on a remote bit of coastline. So it's been a bit of a struggle to hike round here. Mo's holed up in the van a few miles away. So I've come round this rocky coastline and I've got the rod with me. I've been trying 1 or 2 casts. There's a wee island just over to my left there I fished at, but I've got there on my kayak when the conditions have been calmer. Anyway, the conditions are not particularly calm tonight and I don't have my kayak with me anyway, so I'm fishing these rocky shores and fishing from the cliff tops. It's quite exhilarating, but it's also a wee touch dangerous. Without sounding overly dramatic, it's not a place to have a slip. You go into the water here, there's no way of getting back out again. By the time you found a spot which would involve swimming halfway around the island, I think you would be long gone. So anyhow, just a wee word of caution if you're ever fishing the cliff tops, to be ultra careful. Keep a wee bit back. So I'm going to try another cast or two, but it seems my fishing season's getting off to a really slow start. I don't know if this bird is going to fly past, going round to roost in the cliff. And you can see it's got a wee fish in its mouth, so it's fishing a little sheltered inlet in behind you there, but these fish are too small for me. I'm watching the seabirds going backwards and forwards. They're not showing any interest in the lure, so that's good. Enough leathering, folks. I'll never catch a fish standing here. Let me have a cast or two and see how we get on. Well, that's a wee bit more promising, folks. That's the first bite of the evening. In fact, I think it's the first bite of the year. But it didn't take. I think it gave it a wee nudge. Seems like there might be fish out there. What I'm doing is I'm fishing fairly heavy. That's quite a heavy lure, but it's also quite an old one. I could do with something a bit brighter and shinier, I think. I'll change it over in a minute. Basically, I'm throwing it out and I'm bringing it in towards the base of these cliffs where there's deep water, in the hope that there might be something lurking there. Maybe a coley or a pollock doing a bit of hunting in the deep water. Let's keep going, see if there is any fish out there. I don't know if the camera's still running or not. It's a wee pollock, it's a wee bit thin. I'm going to pop him back. Well, that's a good sized fish, folks. I don't know if you can see the damage on it, but that was a fight and a half, because it was a tussle between me and a bird to see who was going to land it. Anyway, it looks like I've won. I think this is a keeper. I think we'll have some fish bites for breakfast. Well, it wasn't the fattest fish that I've ever caught, folks, but I got a couple of nice fillets off it, so might actually fry them up when I go back up to the van, save putting them in the freezer. We're a wee bit tight for time in the morning, but I'm going to try one or two more casts before I take the long journey back along the coastline and then inland to find Mo. What are you doing there, Mo?
I'm frying the fish you caught. Or maybe you bought it.
I would have bought it if I'd fallen over these cliffs that I was fishing from. That looks lovely, Mo. Is it ready?
Yep.
Fresh from the sea.
Good effort.